In your life, as you all have heard, you've broken many glass ceilings. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit today about whether you have faced gender-related discrimination in your own career or even harassment, and if so, how has that informed your outlook on these kinds of policies?
You know, for a period of my life, I did not face discrimination because I was a girl. I was brought up in a family of boys. My mother was a professor, my father was a professor, and they made no difference between us. So at an early stage, I certainly did not face discrimination. And I was the eldest of the group, and I was as fierce and mean as my brothers were. So, and they suffered. And the first sort of really in-my-face discrimination was when I applied for a job with the largest, most prestigious and respected law firm in Paris. And you know, I was fully equipped with all the skills and had taken the exams and was a fully qualified person. I thought so. And they thought so too. So when I submitted my resume and had the interviews, everything was fine. Until, you know, eventually I found out when I asked, well, will I become an associé in your firm, a partner? They looked at me with a smile. That was way back, eh? It has changed a little bit. But way back in 1979, they looked at me with a smile and they said, no, of course not. And I said, well, why is that? And they said with a bigger smile, well, because you're a woman. So I packed up my stuff, took my resume, and left. But that was like the first, you know, okay, why? Because you're a woman. So then I was lucky because I found Baker McKenzie, and the woman who interviewed me was the managing partner, and she certainly was for me a role model and somebody who was trying to she was extremely demanding, and the research and the work that we had to do was huge. But she was also a coach, and she was standing for us as well.
I assume that this experience that you had was in France.
Yeah,
Yes.
That was in Paris. But it would have been the same here. Come on.
Were there laws on the books at the time that should have shielded you?
Yeah. They were. I think back from 1973, the first sort of very, very rigorous and sometimes associated with criminal penalties in case of violation. There were laws in the civil code that punished discrimination on the basis of gender, of sexual preference, and all the rest of it. But that was, you know, it's the whole difference between what's in the books and what is actually implemented, and what confidence women or victims of discriminations have to actually take the fight or argue their case and say, you know, this is not acceptable.